Hi everybody. Today I will talk about higher order function in Kotlin. And what about the higher order function? Higher order function is a function that has a parameter as a function, and they can return a function. And remember that it is higher order function. Then I will give you some example about this. By firstly, we have a class log. This class has two methods. The method that lock the process, and the second method to unlock the process. It is useful for task management, and we have a function that anonymous function, and the anonymous function called body function. Body function is a point to this anonymous function that I introduced about some of the previous lesson. And inside this I can blah blah do some of the tasks about the body function. I get the process ID as an integer, a random integer, and I print out to the screen some of the information, and I return the task ID. So the task ID is an integer point to the ID task, or the ID of the current task doing. Okay, and this is a higher order function. This higher order function will have the body, the property body. The property body is a function, or the input parameter of this function is also a function, and this will return to an integer. Okay, so firstly I call the log method, or the log function of the object log to inform that the process is processing. For example, is processing, and then I use a try cat. The try cat will do some of the tasks inside this, and choose the arrow if the error occur. So the body here is a function. I call the function inside this using the function, and the input parameter is a function. So finally, it means when it is finished, it will unlock the process. Means that the process will be used for another work or another task, for example. So remember that the body here is a function. The body is a function, and the body is also an input parameter of the higher order function. Yes, and was that it is the definition of a higher order function. And what about the function, the return of function? I can declare later. So inside the main, we call this function by do task, and the first parameter is a log. I initialize a log object. The log object is initialized for calling unlock or log function. Second is a body function. Yes, and this is a function as an input parameter of a higher order, and run. So we see that I log the process, and I call the log function, and after finish I call the unlock the process. And this is a very basic example of a higher order function. And what about the functions that return now return a function? Yes, so this function will return to a function. How can I do this? Firstly, it will return to using the compare. I define the compare as a lambda, and the lambda will return to which is list, or x is less than y. It will to be true. The compare will be true. And in this I will add the correlation. Yes, the input parameter first is correlation of integer, and the second is a function. The less is also a function. Input parameter is a function, The function will return boolean, means that x less than y, it is true. So okay, then this higher order function will return an integer. So this is a very basic algorithm for getting the maximum value of from a list of value. We have a list of value, we can call this function list. This function list will be called to determine which is a max value. Okay, then I can call this by adding the input parameter. The input parameter here is a list of integer, and the list of integer we can call the get max value inside this, or the higher order. This is a higher order function. Input is an array of int, and input is compare as a function. So after calling this, I can get the maximum value of the function. Okay, and this function will call to compare. Remember that the compare is a function. You can use the compare as a normal function, or a function without name, or anonymous function, or lambda, etc. So that is I print out the max value to here, and then right click and run. Okay, so the max value here. Yes. Okay, thank you very much for watching this lesson. Thank you very much for watching this lesson, and please subscribe to my channel for more